Welcome to my world. Mark Iron speaking. 7 wheels of peak performance and 7 wheels to optimize for performance hormones. Professor Sapolsky, a couple of years ago, stumbled across some research and the penny dropped. I finally got it, finally worked out why I was underperforming. It all correlates and ties into why I had asthma, allergies, arthritis, and a few other problems that I've now fixed permanently. It all tied in. What I learned from Professor Sapolsky was all about stress physiology. So we're talking about stress hormones and stress behavior. Interestingly, Sapolsky said that when stress hormones, and there's two things here, two important points that Sapolsky made, that when stress hormones or inflammation, and again, more on inflammation in a moment because you've more than likely got chronic low grade. I'll show you how to work that out soon. But when stress hormones or inflammation are higher than healthy, it engages stress behavior. Holy shit. So we're not focused. We're distracted. We have brain fog. Our energy's offline. The penny dropped when I heard that. And then the second thing that he said is that when that is true, it strangles our ability to produce performance hormones. And we have 7 systems we need to optimize for. If you want to learn what those 7 systems are, I've got another video on this page here somewhere. So check that out if you're interested. But make no mistake, at the end of the day, this is how I like to think about it. At the end of the day, we've got these 2 buckets, right? Bucket number 1, we could be filling up with stress hormones. And if you're over 30, more than likely, you have some form of chronic low-grade inflammation filling up that bucket constantly and strangling your ability to feel good, to perform, to be focused. An example of chronic low-grade inflammation is what I call, and the most sinister one, I've got it in my book. You can grab that book on Amazon now. Should be a link on this page somewhere. But I call it the winter diet. And this slowly changes you over time to produce the phenotype, that's what the scientists call it, of low-grade inflammation. And you can fix this, and it's not difficult to do. It's not difficult to do. Anyone can fix this and take the clamp off your ability to produce those all-important performance hormones. Now, 2 more things before I finish this out and give you some tools that you can use to fix these issues once and for all, permanently. Now, if we think about stress physiology, when it's higher than healthy, it engages stress behavior. And every single behavior that we engage, we get better at. It turns into a habit. We go on autopilot. So we are on autopilot producing higher than healthy stress hormones, and we feel like shit. And we're reaching for all those things to try and make us feel better. Does that make sense? That's the way I used to roll for a lot of years, always looking for the next best thing, always looking for that drink in the afternoon or that junk food, whatever it is, to spend more money than I should online, all those things to move away from pain that we're experiencing because we have no energy. Now, if we move in the opposite direction, we learn what these hidden stresses are coming into the body. And I've got them all listed in my book. I call them P2s. Dr. Frank Schellenberg, actually I'll preface it a bit better than that. Dave Asprey, who was a biohacker, he's a godfather of biohacking. He interviewed Dr. Frank Schellenberger. Now, in that interview, Dr. Frank said that we've got about, over the last 100 years that is, about 100 times more stresses, that's right, coming into the body, causing stress hormones to rise and inflammation to rise. If you eliminate those alone, you've got a much higher chance of making performance hormones. I've got them listed in my book. And what's more profound than that is that when you start to produce more performance hormones, you start to feel better. You have more energy. And when we're not locked down to producing these stress hormones, our amygdala, that one that generates fear and anxiety, it quietens up a little bit. So the best version of you is there waiting, and to unlock the best version of you and to kick ass and go after what's yours in the world. Performance hormones, getting that right is the foundation. And then after that, what I learned over the last close to 20 years about mindset training is you only need 3. And they come from the greatest minds on the planet, like Einstein, Epictetus, Plato, Marcus Aurelius. And it's all science-based. The scientists have correlated their workings to producing more performance hormones with thought alone. These 3 mindsets, I've got them in my book, and they're also here somewhere. I've got a link to them on this page, and you have access to them, free access, because I believe everyone should have access to them. However, and importantly, the caveat, if you've got chronic low-grade inflammation, you still won't be producing optimal levels of performance hormones. So you are at a handicap. You are at a disadvantage. Take that off. Take that handicap off. And there's 2 ways that you can do that. Way number 1 is to read my book, and it will get you 70% of the way there. You might be thinking, why only 70%, dude? Why not 100%? Very simple answer to that. Through biohacking, I learned after my genome was sequenced that I've got a very high propensity to produce stress hormones by 2 genes. I produce a lot more of them. These 2 genes are hyperactive, and I have to quell that hyperactivity. You might be in the opposite direction. These 2 genes might be very slow. So you're just not getting that edge. You're not excited. When your feet hit the floor, it's just not there. You're not ready to go. You've got to get that. You've got to get that excitement for life. So you need everything optimized. And that's what I can help you with, showing you how to do that. And that requires a conversation. So again, my book will get you 70% the way there. But if you want to, be a part of my world and have peak human performance, not just for the body, but also for the mind, reach out to me and I'll show you what that looks like. So there it is. That's what I'm about. Peak performance, both for the physical body and for the mind to unlock your greatness and financial freedom.